Good evening to all of you. I think the minister kind of set the context when he said that the future of the Tamil Nadu economy is really about entrepreneurs and MSMEs. And we kind of segue from that into the next session. They say an apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So a lot of Rotarians are entrepreneurs, and we felt that entrepreneurs, children, Annettes, and all of them would also be having this gene in them to become an entrepreneur themselves. So we felt Rotary should organize a Pitchfest where we encourage startup ideas from our own Rotary family to come and present their business ideas at various stages. And I'll let Babu Parmeshwar later talk about the exact, how the event was rolled out. But to set the context, for the session, we have in our midst a special guest speaker, Chandran Krishnan, a dear friend of mine. Chandran Krishnan is the CEO of Chennai Angels. And Chennai Angels is a very key component of the startup ecosystem in Tamil Nadu. He will talk more about it when he comes up. But I thought I'll take the privilege of introducing him. Chandran is a BTech in mechanical engineering from IIT Madras. And he followed it up with a PG diploma in management from the prestigious IIM Calcutta. And since then, he has worked in several industries in IT-enabled services, fintech, investment banking, and so on. And some of the companies he's worked for, HCL Technologies, Rane Group. He's also recently headed several M&A deals in his last 6-7 years. And they've been both within India as well as cross-border acquisitions. And the geographies to which he has actually traveled and done business in, the Americas, Europe, the whole of Asia, Australia, New Zealand. So pretty much he has seen the world, and today he heads this organization called the Chennai Angels, which is really the starting point, the seed funding element in any startup. So ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to a wonderful, accomplished professional in our midst, Chandran Krishnan.
A warm applause to Mr. Chandran as he comes up to deliver the keynote speech. That applause can be much warmer and louder, please. Let's welcome Mr. Chandran.
Thank you, Ballu. Thank you, organizers. I will start off with something personal, my background, so that what I talk later, we could relate to what I'm saying. I was born in a place called Kaladi in Kerala. Kerala, and then I had my early education in Hyderabad. My father used to work in the Legislative Assembly. So early schooling I did in a school called Little Flower High School, a very popular school in Hyderabad. Then we later moved to Chennai. My father wanted to stay with his mother and brother, so we moved here. Finished my education at Ramakrishna Mission School, T Nagar, opposite Panagal Park. I think today they have dug it up for doing the metro. And then those days we used to have 11+1, SSLC and PUC. So I finished my 11th in RK Mission and then went on to do my PUC from AM Jain College. Wrote my JEE entrance, and that's how I went to IIT Madras. Took up mechanical engineering, which was quite popular those days, and IIT Madras was very famous. I think it was ranked number 1, in India at that time. I went on to do my PGDM from IIM Calcutta, but as Ballu said that, then I started my corporate career in '84. Essentially, my entire career has been working for corporates, working for enterprises. I worked for companies like Jubilant Organsis, which is a Delhi-based corporate, famous for Domino's. I have worked in Hinduja Group, Ashok Leyland Finance. I have worked in Hindustan Motors, CK Birla Group, Mitsubishi. And then my turning point came in 2006 when I joined HCL Technologies. HCL Technologies, I got the opportunity to join M&A, acquiring companies. And I also became the global head of their financial services vertical for their BPO division. It was an amazing experience where I acquired companies in UK, US, And since I was the head of financial services, I was also managing them. So, and then I set up a 600 people operation across Europe, Belfast, Dublin, London and India. And I was heading all other verticals. I was heading the sales for Australia and New Zealand. So it was a great experience. That started my global experience. And then I moved on and worked in a few more companies, LG Equipment, Coimbatore, where I was heading America and Europe. And then I worked in Rane Group, where I completed my career. There also I acquired a few companies. So completely enterprises, corporate, where funding is not an issue, banks come and give money, and you work for an employer, and that was my career. And 2019, Chennai Angels happened. So I joined Chennai Angels, and completely different people, set of people with whom you need to work with. So all entrepreneurs, people who can't raise money. They have to actually come with some brilliant ideas and then try to raise money from venture capital people. So having worked with people who were working for money, now I was dealing with people who were making money work for them. So it was a complete unlearning and learning period for me. Okay, now having given this background, let me start with what is a startup? Startups basically are new ventures trying to solve some big problem for business or consumer. Let me give you an example. I think this will help you understand what startups are doing for us, for our country and the world. 20 years back, I don't know how many people, many of you will remember, travel used to be a big problem. Where you have to go to the railway station, stand in the queue, book ticket, and then if you want to go travel by air, you have to go to the airport or airline office to book ticket. And if you have to stay out station, then you used to look at the BSNL directory and then call up and check up some hotel or ask a friend, and you would never be satisfied. The experience would be those days were very tough, and when you have to cancel tickets, it was even more tougher. What happened was, when Make My Trip came, they completely changed the way travel happens. They used a payment gateway, they used internet, GPS, telecom, and came with a solution. After that, we can travel, wherever you want, whichever part of the world you want to travel, in minutes you can book tickets, check hotels, you can see the reviews, you can cancel in minutes. So travel became so easy. Such a big problem for business and consumer was solved by a unique solution. The market was so huge that after Make My Trip, you had Travel Advisor, a Clear Trip, or a Yatra, or a Booking.com. All of them became big. So startups are trying to do that. Startups are trying to solve problems. They are trying to find some big problems for businesses or consumers, and coming with some unique solutions leveraging technology which can be scaled. And that's what startups are doing. In India, in the last 3 decades, we have had about 45,000-50,000 startups which have come. We are the 3rd largest in terms of the startup economy in the world, after US and China. 50,000 startups, of which 12,000 came up in NCR, Bangalore, about 11,000 in NCR, about 9,000 in Bombay, Chennai about 3,000, Hyderabad 3,000, and Jaipur. And so there are some areas where all these startups started coming. And out of the 50,000 startups, not all have succeeded. More than half have closed down. And majority of them did not really rise up. So they settled at 1 crore, 5 crore, 10 crore, kind of small level volume, and they are continuing but not doing anything big. But there have been about 5 to 10% companies which have done, they have done wonders. We have 100 unicorns. You must be also going through all the papers. We have 100 unicorns in India. We are the 3rd largest in terms of unicorns. A unicorn means a company which has crossed $1 billion valuation. So that is the scenario today in India. And to say a few more things for you to understand, let us understand the journey of a startup. Today I know we are having someone coming and pitching some ideas. So it always starts with an idea. An idea in somebody's mind to solve something. And this idea has to be converted into a product or a solution. So you have to build a product or a solution to solve the problem. Now that phase is called incubation phase. Incubation phase where from idea you develop a product or a solution. Now once you have a product or a solution, and this period, you either go to an incubator. There are a lot of incubators in India today. We have about 350 incubators, and then some very popular incubators are there in Chennai. IIT Madras incubation cell is a leading one, and then you have Whale Tech, you have Crescent, you have SRM and NASCOM. There are many of them in Chennai itself. Or you do on your own. You don't have to go to an incubation center, but typically you have to put your own money. And if you go to an incubator, they will give you space, they will take some equity, they will give some mentors. So once you have developed a product solution, we have to go and test in the market and find out whether the customers really are looking for that product only, or are they really satisfied? Will it meet their requirement? And this is called product market fit. You are doing a fitment test, and you will find a lot of changes are required in the product till the customer starts liking it and starts buying it. This phase is called the seed phase. A seed phase where you are testing the product and seeing whether the customer really wants it, and adapt the product to meet the market requirement. Here also, you need more money, because you have to spend more money, you have to have people, you have to go to the market, and you have to come back, change the product. So you need more money. For example, in incubation, if you need, let us say, 15-20 lakhs, in the seed phase, typically you will need 1 crore or 1.5 crore kind of money. So big money. So you go to family, friends, you go to an accelerator. There are accelerators who help you to do the seed phase. And in India, it is picking up. You have a Y Combinator, you have an India Accelerator, you have Entrepreneur First. So a lot of accelerators also coming up in India. Now once you cross this seed phase, in the seed phase, there are some angel networks also who fund. I mean, we are funded in that phase, Chennai Angels, and then you have somebody like 100XC, then you have Will Grow, or you have someone like Kiratsu, and once you start generating revenue, it is called early revenue phase. In early revenue phase, you start selling every month on month, you start growing, people are wanting your product. This early revenue phase is where most of the angel networks do the funding. Like Chennai Angels is one of the leading angel networks in India. So we, along with India Angels, Mumbai Angels, Hyderabad Angels, there are networks like IP Ventures, Venture Catalyst, there are about 15 networks who do the funding, and typically in early revenue stage, you will need about 3-4 crores. So that is the kind of money you need, because you need to add people, you have to develop the product, you have to reach out to the market. And once that early revenue has crossed and you reach a growth phase, then you have venture funds. So they call it the Series A stage, a Series B, a Series C, a Series D. People familiar and who have read may understand. So this is the journey of a startup, starting from idea, going to incubation, then seed phase, then early revenue, then growth phase. And then, so people who invest, who come in, like we come in at early revenue stage. We wait for them to reach the growth stage, a Series A, B stage. A future funding agency would give us the exit. We invest in the equity of the company. Okay, now a little about Chennai Angels, maybe appropriate at this stage. So we are a network who started in 2007. We were promoted by some Thai members. Thai, I don't know how many of you are familiar, the Indus Entrepreneurs. It's a global organization. So the Chennai chapter, we have close to about 800 members, chartered associates. So a few members of Thai Chennai, they decided to create a funding arm to support the companies they were mentoring, and that's how it was born. We took about 3-4 years to really find our way, and then from 2011-12 we started funding. So 4-5 companies and 6-7 companies and per year. And today we have funded about 75 companies. Sometimes we do more than one round of funding. So total rounds of funding, we would have done about 150 rounds of funding. About 150 crores we have invested. And we have given some good exits to our people. About 18 companies we have exited. We got someone to buy them and they gave back, returned to us. In some cases, we In a few cases, we have even gone up to 60, 70 times the return for people who have invested. And there have been cases where at 10, 7, and so on. So that's what we do. Typically, we get about 150, 200 applications a month for funding. And what we look for, and people tomorrow who want to become entrepreneurs need to know, I mean, what we look for is how critical a problem are you trying to solve, and what is the size of the market, I mean, how large is the market, and how good are the people who are trying to promote. The entrepreneur has to be very passionate. I mean, they have to have passion, they need to know the domain, they need to have some experience, they should be well bonded. So we look at the team, we look at, also the technology they are using, whether it can be scaled, and we look at a few other things like unit economics, and they should not dilute too much, their stake, they should not dilute. They should have enough power to go to Series B, C kind of stage. So that's what we look at. We select out of that about 20 companies. We have sector experts, different agri-tech, sustainability, or a biotech, or a health tech, or a fintech. So we have different experts who will further see it and bring it down to about 4 or 5. And our large group of members, we are 150 member network. They are all some of the who is who of Chennai. And they look at them, and then finally we fund about 2-3 startups a month. And I can elaborate and go into processes. I don't think I need to bore you with all the details. Suffice to say that today the world is looking at India. I mean, more than China, the West is more comfortable with India. They are looking at India to rise. There are so many problems to solve, and there is a lot of money available. And I think in the next coming years, for the next 8-10 years, I think there's enough problems to solve. There'll be a lot of activity, a lot of entrepreneurial activity. And we will be hearing more and more of this. And we can already see the whole Indian economy all over the place being vibrant with entrepreneurs coming up, and the ecosystem has completely flowered. We got financiers, we got entrepreneurship schools, we got mentors, we got funding, and I think it's going to be an exciting times ahead for us. Thank you. That's all I want to do.
A round of applause, please, for our keynote speaker, Mr. Chandran. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Chandran, for being with us. It was our pleasure to have you here. I now invite Rotarian Vidya to talk about our Pitchfest. Vidya, the floor is yours.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great privilege that first time in Rotary we have our own Pitchfest. As they say, little seeds become big trees. And this is the beginning of something big in the area of entrepreneurship and startups. And I think as RI District 3232, we're all very privileged to be here to make history happen from here. It was a very beautiful process that started many months back, and we'd first like to thank our District Governor, Rotarian J. Sridhar. And as we know, this is a change maker year. This definitely is the new change that we are seeing. And our most big thanks for ambassador of all this is our conference chairman, Rotarian Vinod Sarogi, who immediately said yes to the idea. And they went beyond, because there was no idea of how it's going to happen, but they said do whatever it takes, but do it like in a style, like how district does it. And what we have now is the beginning of that era again. So it was a nice journey where our entire Rotary fraternity, right from Annettes, Rotarians, if you look at the age group of entries that we got, as they say, idea anybody can have, and our application showed that. We had someone who was 13 and we had someone who was 68, and every single person had an idea that they believed will be a big dream. But then we had a very systematic procedure that was put in place. We had a tie-up with one of the best incubators. We had the Ganeshan Incubation and Entrepreneurship Center as one of our partners who brought in the entire process with us. We had a core team comprising of Rotarian J. Balraman from Madras East, Rotarian Parameshwaran, Rotarian Sham Shekhar. We had a lot of other Rotarians along, and myself, Rotarian Vidya. We looked through all those entries, we screened it down, took multiple different rounds, and finally, we have 4 really amazing ideas who are going to come up on stage. And I think your encouragement can be the fuel for them to go to the next level. We all see a lot of startups on the TV and we say, you know, oh, they made it big, but we don't know which one of them can go to the next level. So we should all be proud of, you know, seeing them here presenting their idea. And we really want to thank our incubator partner, Ganeshan Incubation and Entrepreneurship Center. This was started by Dr. A.S. Ganeshan, Chancellor of Vinayaka Missions Research Foundation, and Dr. Anuradha Ganeshan, who's also here with us. She's the Director for Vinayaka Missions. And they focus, this is the first startup incubator in Tamil Nadu to support medical entrepreneurship in Tamil Nadu. So not just the medical field, they support a lot of other areas as well. And they are going to today offer the incubation award to 3 of them. Out of all these applications we've got, 3 of them are going to get an award, and their journey is going to be the next step from here up to, even if they need support, up to 50 crores, they go all the way. But they're going to give them the awards here, and we're really excited to watch that. So thank you again, Dr. Anuradha, if you're here, Dr. Adil, who's the CEO for the institution, and our district governor and conference chair for that. So let's sit back and watch our presenters.
Thank you.
I'll invite Rotarian Parameshwar Babu to please take over the proceedings.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As our keynote speaker, Mr. Krishnan, said, India is a topper in terms of startup ecosystems, and it is growing very fast. And it is, I felt that, you know, in Rotary, in all of the entire districts of India, startup projects are have not formed been a part of it. So when I proposed this to DG and his conference chairman, they really, you know, provided full support. Initially, ever since we launched this portal, Rotary Synergy Pitchfest.in, initially there were a lot of inhibitions, but we have been conducting series of sessions, virtual sessions, every few weeks, and this really helped many of the Rotarians, Annes and Annettes to come out of these inhibitions, because Rotarians, Annes and Annettes, they're all of different age groups, and each of them have, you know, different set of inhibitions. So with the continued sessions, engagement with all the Annes and Annettes and Rotarians, we have got dozens of entries, and we had experts from different fields talking to them virtually, and this motivated them to really prepare fantastic pitch decks. And once pitch decks have been ready, we did our review a couple of weeks ago, and all out of those top pitch deck submissions, we selected 4, and 4 of them will be making the presentations today. Each one of them have their own set of innovative ideas from different fields. First, I would like to invite Rotarian Reggie Jose, whose venture is secondopinion.com from a medtech industry.
Good afternoon, Rotary family. Thank you, Team Synergy, for giving me a platform to showcase an idea which is very close to my heart, secondopinion.com. Every business proposition has a target audience. And as far as secondopinion.com is concerned, each and every one of you is a part of the target, is a part of my future clientele. In the next 150 seconds, I'll tell you how. Now, every hospital has 3 categories of patients visiting. The first category are those who are wheeled in for emergencies. In the case of heart accidents, heart ailments, strokes, these are the emergency patients, and approximately 15 to 20% of the patients are in the emergency category. The second category of patients are those who come in for treatments for a health ailment, and they may have planned surgeries. Now that constitutes approximately 70 to 80% of the patients. Now the third category of people are those who walk in for diagnostics. Now in the current, secondopinion.com targets the second and the third category of the patients. Now the current healthcare system is plagued by lack of transparency, limited options, and the fact that you don't have much of an ethics in the system. Secondopinion.com wants to dispel all these challenges within the system. Now, the differentiator that secondopinion.com is offering is that imagine a situation where you have a loved one wheeled into the hospital and you're looking for a medical care. You have one option that's offered by the hospital. Secondopinion.com, with its battery of medical professionals and the backend team, will offer you various other options from hospitals which are near you in the next 5 kilometers radius and within the next 1 hour. Now, that's a huge difference for you because you're going to take an informed opinion or an informed decision on what the next treatment is going to be. Secondopinion.com is powered by medical professionals with ethics. Behind them are an experienced set of people who are basically my friends for about 25 to 30 years, who have background in medicine, healthcare, insurance, artificial intelligence, ethics and compliance, as well as marketing and software development. So these are the people who are going to develop the solutions. The healthcare industry, if you know, is a $370 billion strong industry, and it's growing. Every day in India, there are approximately 13 lakh patients who are treated in a hospital per day. And if you even target 20% of them, we are looking at approximately 3 lakh opportunities where you can give a better experience to them. Now, what are you bringing on the table? Transparency, better healthcare, better quality, and another aspect which you need to look at is the medical insurance fraternity. The medical insurance is increasing year over year. Now, if you're able to address that, that itself is a big differentiator for the medical insurance industry. From a revenue perspective, the network hospitals, the network insurance companies, the diagnostic companies, they all pay an annual fee. They all pay a subscription also. In addition to that, there are revenue that you can generate through leads that you give them. Because every happy second opinion client is a potential avenue for insurance as a lead. Then in addition to that, as we walk through all these things, I don't believe that second opinion will have an easy road ahead. There will be challenges. The road is not rosy. There will be pushbacks from corporate hospitals, which constitute the top 20% of the healthcare system. They will do a lot of pushback. There will be litigations. There will be other challenges also. Once you cross that road, the road ahead for you is a very promising one with a bustling healthcare industry in place. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Next, I would like to invite Rotarian Dr. Pavni, whose venture is 3D Pulp. It is another revolutionary medtech idea.
A very good evening to the gathering, and I'm going to talk about 3D Pulp today. I actually ventured RI Biosciences, which is into 3D printing, 3D bioprinting. Printing organs is in near future. So, but can we commercialize really? It is only under research. But what we can commercialize is this product called 3D Pulp. Every day around 41,000 root canals being happening in India, according to 2019. So, what about that 40,000 root canals? What we are doing, we are killing the root, taking out the root material and putting an inert material, which is not helping in regeneration. I want to tell you a small story. You know about lizard? You cut the tail, it will grow back again. It will regrow multiple times. But is it the same tail? No. It is an imperfect cartilage tube which is being formed. So similarly, in this, the pulp I wanted to regenerate, but it will not be the same like what God created. But it is almost like a pulp. So there are almost in any Rotary club, if you see, there is a dentist. You know, one or other dentist. So I want to make business with the dentist. So I started 3D Pulp. and every dentist in India will move on to 3D regeneration pulp. In this, we are going to use a collagen material, and I take your own blood, take PRP or PRF, and then inject into that scaffold and put it into the root canal. And then regeneration automatically happens. And we are right now in licensing, and we went through NSK company, which is helping in our licensing. So it takes another 6 weeks for us to get license for this product, because all the materials are being used. In silico analysis has came. So we can start commercializing within 6 months. And this is the future. And what is the income if you see also? It's a large, for example, if you imagine 41,000, out of which only 10% of dentists are using our product. That is 4,000 root canals per day. And each root canal, this one will charge around 3,000 rupees. 3,000 into 4,000 is around 12 lakhs per day. So 12 lakhs per day income is very high, only if you think about Indian market. So this is the first and ever invented, and patent is still pending. So thank you. Looking forward to move to the next level.
Thank you very much.
Next, I would like to invite Annette Aishwarya, who has decided to come back from Singapore to start a new venture called Blink Smart that is going to revolutionize home automation.
Thank you, sir. Good evening to everyone. This is Aishwarya Senthilnathan here from Blink Smart Homes. I am an MBA graduate and I have a working experience in Singapore. My husband, Senthilnathan, who did his Masters of Technology from Australia. And we started this company in 2021. This next slide, please. The idea of Blink Smart Home arose from the problems that we are facing on a daily basis. How many of you all are still wondering if you have switched off the iron boxes in your home properly? Is the aircon still running? Have I turned off all the lights and the fans in my living area before I leave the place? So we have a solution to it. Blink solves these issues. Solves these issues with our smart switches, smart plugs, motion sensors, and IR controllers. When we look at the evolution of switches, what's going to be next? It's definitely the smart switches. A smart touch switch, carefully designed in a unique way with a glass panel, gives a great ambience to your living spaces also. A smart push button switch designed very first in India. We can control all the products remotely, which provides comfort and convenience to a very great extent. We are going to use the latest Matter standard, which enables the users to remotely connect through Google Home, Alexa, SmartThings, and Siri, and much more. All switch modules can be easily replaceable even after installation, instead of changing the entire set. All our smart plugs acts as a hub, and all our products acts as a repeater to completely eliminate the blind spots in your homes or your place, and it creates much more connectivity. The current smart switches are extremely expensive, but Blink makes it completely affordable because it eliminates all the civil works completely, and there won't be any installers needed. The current bracings in the market are adjusted only in one direction, but Blink's bi-directional adjustment bracings suits to any type of the wall boxes and eliminates the civil works completely during installation, and we have a patent file for it. The current setup is also difficult, but all our products are equipped with QR codes. So once you scan the QR code, it's done. It's as simple as that. And we believe that all our customers must buy the products from the shelf and use it. Blink targets to reach this through dealers, franchisers, renovators, builders, and through direct sales. As per the Allied Market Researches, Indian home automation market is expected to reach $13,000 million by 2026. With the initial investment of 1 crore, Blink aims at achieving at least 1% of market share in 5 years in our targeted cities, which are Chennai, Coimbatore, Mumbai, and Bangalore. Blink targets to launch the product as early as March 2023 as a Made in India product. Blink will wow you all soon at your places. Until then, see you, and thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Next, I would like to invite another very young budding lawyer, Annette Vinita Shyam. But what she has done is to develop a new venture, Listen and Learn, that is going to be a fantastic edtech startup.
All of us in our school days have experienced that mad rush where we try to cram information into our heads before tests and exams. We flip through large textbooks trying to pick out those key words. But wouldn't you have found it so much more easy if someone had just prepared precise summaries for you to quickly refer to? Now this is where we come in with a solution for you. Listen and Learn, an app to make studying simple. Now, before I go into explaining what this app is all about, let me tell you a little bit about myself and why I feel that I can help students with this problem. I'm Vibha, an Annette from the Rotary Club of Chennai Green City, and I only recently passed out from school. So I'm very familiar with this issue, having had similar experiences along these lines. This is where Listen and Learn comes in to help. We aim to provide a simplified learning experience where you have summaries of various chapters and concepts that students come across in their studying process. And the best part is, it is an audio-only experience, so students can learn while on the move. Now, let's say you're getting ready for school. You're packing your bag, you're finding your socks, and in between all this, the student only has to pick a particular topic that they wish to revise, hit play, and simply listen to the summary, revise, and get their work done. It's as easy as that. By the way, students don't have to restrict themselves to just revisions with this app. They can also listen to the summaries before the lessons are even taught in class, and this will help them understand the concepts better and faster when learning it in school. Learners also have the option to choose whether to listen to short summaries or longer, more detailed summaries. Now, the target audience for this app are mainly students from class 1 to class 8, and we intend to start out with content for students of class 1 to 5 from CBSE. But state board students do not need to worry about missing out, because we will be coming up with content for them too in both English and vernacular languages very shortly. Now, we are all very familiar that with the shift to the digital learning experience that the pandemic has pushed us towards, students are completely hooked onto their devices all the time. But since Listen and Learn is an audio-only app, students can consume content hands and eyes free from the device. Keeping in line with Rotary International's motto of service above self, this app can also help visually challenged students, because not only audio summaries, but audio-based textbooks is also a possibility. With Listen and Learn, students will now have a very quick and effortless way to learn anytime, anywhere. So join us in Listen and Learn as we revolutionize the learning experience.
Thank you very much.
So we'll now have the pleasure of having Dr. Anuradha here from Ganeshan Incubation and Dr. Adil, the CEO of Ganeshan Incubation. And we'd love to please have you on the stage. We request our District Governor, Rotarian J. Sridhar. We request J. Balraman from Madras East. We also request our Conference Chair, Vinod Sarogi. And we request Rotarian Parameshwaran and Shyam also to please come to the stage. We'll first request our District Governor to please felicitate Mrs. Anuradha for the amazing collaboration and partnership and mentoring that they provided, for the very valuable inputs that Dr. Adil had provided beyond the extra mile. He went, had a one-on-one with every entry. And when we said we'll restrict to 10, he said, no, invite everyone. I'll spend time with them and I'll give them more value. So we have all of them. We request District Governor Rotarian J. Sridhar to please felicitate Dr. Anuradha and Dr. Adil from Ganeshan Incubation.
A big round of applause, please. Can we hear a big round of applause as we present? Vidya, can you please call the participants to felicitate?
We'd also request DG to please felicitate Dr. Adil. All of us were stunned with the kind of in-depth knowledge and wisdom he had in the startup arena when he was doing the one-on-one with the entrepreneurs. Thank you, Anuradha ma'am, for the wonderful contribution. So out of these 4 participants, 3 of them will receive awards from Ganeshan Incubation, and I invite Dr. Adil to please share with us the exciting awards and the awardees, the 3 best entries. I think it's like really amazing the kind of bundle that they are awarding the entrepreneurs. I think Rotary, if any home you have an idea, you know where to go now. You have a Pitchfest in our district, our own Pitchfest. Please join it, sir.
Greetings to all, dignitaries on the dais as well as the off the dais. So we welcome you from Ganeshan Incubation Entrepreneurship Center, a Section 8 company and a business accelerator from Vinayaga Mission. So we basically provide you all the accelerator support. So you have been like looking at various colleges having the incubation support, I'm right. So they take the students, they help them with the basic fund of 10,000 to a lakh, and they come down to a 20 to 30 lakhs. So we basically work with students to companies who are already in the market. And we can help you out with the government grants, seed funds, venture capital funds, and angel investors directly as much from India as well as abroad. And we can help you out with grants from like 50,000 to the max of 50 crores. And I think most of the talk has been already done by our previous dignitary. So basic thing is I would like to say that if you are interested for any kind of startup or anything, so we provide all the mentorship support. Basically like what happens is everyone wants to have a startup kind of thing, as this startup word has become a new revolution word. And now whatever the business they start, even the traditional businesses, so they want to do it in a style. For example, the Kirana shops which were already in the road shops, I'm right, now that has become as the Tata Big Baskets and so on, Big Bazaars, and they do come down to your houses. Likewise, these local taxis have become your Ola as well as your Uber. And you could start up any kind of startup, a traditional startup into a professional startup, I'm right. So this startup word has become a revolution these days, and many government agencies are also providing. And even from the central government, Startup India is providing crores of rupees for startups. So why don't you utilize these funds through us? So we could facilitate all these funds for you. And apart from that, we help you out with the training. So basic thing, when you come for a business, you will be naive, am I right? So you may be listening to your family, you may be listening to your support mentors in your family or neighbors. So we provide you the consulting professional from what you call that, the mentors from IIMs and even the London Business School of Economics and other colleges, Berkeley and so on. So you could come down us, we provide you the professional mentorship, we guide you with professional guidance, and along with that, we help you out with the fund management, because pitching for your idea is very expensive. Getting a money from someone else for investing in your business is kind of a very expensive part. And this kind of support we can help you out. And thank you for all.
Thank you, Doctor.
So we had the 4 young people, entrepreneurs presenting their idea. We're all excited to know how many are we giving the awards to? 2, 3, lucky ones, the 3? Okay, they first said 2, but they, as usual, as generosity speaks, it's now 3. Would you like to announce, or ma'am?
So we selected Listen and Learn as the first prize. Vibhashyam.
Vibha, are you here? Vibha, run down quickly. Opportunity is waiting for you.
The youngest entrepreneur.
We must stay back. We have something more for you. We have the award from Ganeshan Incubation. They have a lot of services as well that they've packed in worth over 5 lakhs, 5.5 lakhs. Apart from the opportunity to be part of the incubator, which is just amazing for your age, I think all of us are looking at, we want to start again. And it's again amazing as Rotary District 3232. We're also doing a small awards from our side. Each of them is receiving a check award. Can we please have it? Can we request DG and Conference Chairman, Rotarian Vinod Sarogi, to please present it to Vibha?
Ganeshan Incubation Entrepreneurship Center, what we have given for the first prize is 5.5 lakhs worth of credits and tokens, which are the basic business tools from AWS, Freshworks and Zoho. And apart from that, Big Daddy and Agora. So we have given for that as a simple package. And second is to join our incubation center and to facilitate their business from idea. And third is we are going to conduct the India's biggest startup Pitchfest. So investor mentor Pitchfest, and that will be sector agnostic, and we'll be providing a platform for her to contest or pitch in the platform. And fourth is from Connect for My Coach. It's a Silicon Valley mentor, startup mentor guide. So they'll be providing 2 sessions free mentorship worth $100. And the second prize goes to Second Opinion, Mr. Reggie Jose, Rotarian Reggie Jose. And for the second prize also we have given the same credits and awards. The surprise third prize goes to Rotarian Dr. T. Pavi from 3D Pulp.
As I said before, nothing stopped this young lady, even with the child crying. She was willing to go for her idea along with managing her child. So let's have a bigger round of applause for her. It was really hard to actually choose. But, even the fourth one who came up and presented, it was equally a brilliant idea. Just that I think there was a slight edge with which I think these people went an extra bar above. We'd like to now have Aishwarya here. We have the district award for you from our side. Aishwarya, can you come up on stage, please? She was, again, really brilliant with the way she presented. You saw she was well ahead of time, totally in-depth into her business. So we're also sure, Aishwarya, with or without the incubation, you'll still go high. Business and startup world, we know every effort matters, and we'd request all our participants, all the other 7 who presented their pitch decks, to please come up on stage. We have the recognition for you. All the participants of the Pitchfest, each of your ideas was really amazing. As I said, these 3 just stood out a little bit more.
So
A big hand
read out
to all the
names.
participants, please. Let's give them a big hand.
Rotarian
Participants, please go on stage.
Yeah. Rotarian Sukulu, Annette Arati Nair, Rotarian Usha Rajeshwari, Rotarian Ramalingam, Annette Abhilakshara, Rotarian Ramesh Kannan,
Let's give them all a big round of applause, please. Well done.
Thank you, my dear friends in Rotary, friends of Rotary. An exciting session is just not over. This is just a start of a new startup wave in Rotary. Two quick takeaways. The need of the hour today is to build more entrepreneurs. So startups are an absolute essential which can power our economy. Two, very interesting point. Did you notice? Out of the 4 winners, there were 3 women. What more can we talk about empowerment? Fantastic, kudos to the Annettes Rotarians, and congratulations to Rotarian Rajijos, Rotarian Dr. Pavani, Annette Aishwarya, and Annette Viba. Special thanks to Ganeshan Incubation Center, Dr. Anuradha, Dr. Adil. And of course, this wouldn't have been possible without the support of the conference chair, Rotarian Vinod Sorogi, and ever dynamic Namma DG, Rotarian Sridhar. Thank you so much, sir. And of course, I also want to thank the Pitchfest team of Vidya, Parmeshwar Babu, and Rotarian Balram, and other Rotarians. Thank you so much, and I welcome you to the startup world this moment onwards. I hope the waves continue in the years to come. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, Shyam.